First of all praise to the Father Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Ruach. Shabbat Shalom to all the brothers and sisters in recognition to observing this day for worshiping the Most High. Sundown this evening to sundown tomorrow evening, my people. Let's get some rest, worship, and praises into the Father in Yahweh Shai's name, His mighty Son, because it is a commandment throughout all of our dwellings, and because also He's more than worthy of such. Today's lesson basically is going to be about bringing our thoughts, inspecting our thoughts, into subjection. To make sure, if we are thinking correctly, because thoughts actually becomes actions in some time or another, and a lot of times, evil thought is not a sin until it's put into action. We have to understand where these thoughts could be possibly coming from, you see. But we're careful to put our evil thoughts into subjection by analyzing them and making sure they're, if it's right or wrong. Then basically we will know if we should carry out these thoughts or not. Okay, some people don't have this kind of discernment, believe me when I tell you. We see that happening around us on a daily as well as nightly, with people not being able to discern their wicked thoughts versus righteous thoughts. Because, like I said before, a thought is not considered righteous or wicked until the action of the thought actually becomes into fruition. Okay? So, without further ado, let's go over here and let's start in Isaiah chapter 55, verse 6. And it reads, first of all, we want to do this. Seek ye the Lord while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near. Okay? Call ye upon him while he is near. Time is running short. We got Disclosure, Steven Spielberg movie, basically telling us that the Antichrist is on his way. Or if not, let's just say he's here and waiting to introduce himself. I will be doing a video, most I willing, on the reason why I think he's already here sometime in the near future. But let's continue here in Isaiah chapter 55, verse 3. Incline your ear and come unto me. Hear, and your soul shall live. And I will make an everlasting covenant with you, even the sure mercies of David. Behold, I have given him for a witness to the people, a leader and commander to the people. Behold, thou shalt call a nation that thou knowest not, and nations that knew not thee shall run unto thee because of the Lord thy God. And for the Holy One of Israel, for he have glorified thee. Seek ye the Lord while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near. This is where we start to get into the thoughts, okay? Verse 7. Let the wicked forsake his way, and the unrighteous man his thoughts, okay? And let him return unto the Lord, and he will have mercy upon you. Well, have mercy upon him, okay? And to our God, for we will abundantly pardon. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, saith the Lord. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. Okay? So that's basically the Most High putting it down, that we are not on his level of thoughts. We are actually guided by thoughts, but you want to be guided by his thoughts, where he leads your footsteps, okay? And not by the spirits in the air which are connected to the wicked ones, actually demons, okay? Here in 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 1. We have Paul, okay? And this is what it is, verse 1. Now I, Paul, myself beseech you by the meekness and gentleness of Mashiach, who in presence am base among you, but being absent am bold towards you. But I beseech you that I may not be bold when I am present, with that confidence wherewith I think to be bold against some which think of us as if we walked according to the flesh. Now, I can tell you guys right now, if you walking according to your flesh, your thoughts are wicked and your thoughts are ruling you. Okay? That's basically what this boils down to. Verse 3, for though we walk in the flesh, for though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God, mighty through Yahweh, to the pulling down of strongholds, casting down imaginations, and every high thing that exalteth itself against the knowledge of Yahweh, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Mashiach. Okay? And having in readiness to revenge all disobedience when your obedience is fulfilled. Okay? So then, this is what we're to do. Bringing our thoughts into subjection, basically captivity, analyzing these thoughts, okay? Putting away the bad thoughts, getting them out of our mind, those kind of thoughts, okay? We can't let these kind of wicked thoughts actually rule us, right? And that's what this all boils down to. You cast these wicked, evil thoughts out, because see, a lot of times these evil spirits whisper in your ears and tell you to do things or think of certain things that basically are against the way of the Most High. Okay? Here in Galatians chapter 5, verse 16, this is how we do it right here. This I say then, walk in the Spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. For the flesh lusteth against the Spirit, and the Spirit against the flesh. Okay? And these are contrary the one to the other. See, there's a private war going on within all of us. The spirit against the flesh against the spirit. And as it is said, two wolves, okay? The one you feed the most will be the victor of the one that's not being fed. So if you're feeding the evil wolf with the bad thoughts, then it's going to cancel out the good wolf. In other words, basically, a little small analogy there, you see. Now, verse 18, but if ye be led of the Spirit, ye are not under the law. Now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adultery, fornication, uncleanliness, lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulations, wrath, strife, seditions, and heresies, envyings, murders, drunkenness, revelings, revelings, and such like, of the which I tell you before, as I have also told you in time past, that they which do such things shall not inherit the kingdom of Yahweh. Okay? But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law. And they that are Mashiach's have crucified the flesh, which the affections and lust. With the afflictions and lust. If we live in the Spirit, let us also walk in the Spirit. Let us not be desirous of vainglory, provoking one another, envying one another. Okay? And we got a lot of that going on as we study in this Bible, right now. Okay? A lot of that. Envying, the hatred. Basically, That's one of the main evil spirits right there. Those things right there, envying and hatred. It brings about a lot of transgressions, which is sin itself, onto somebody else that might be trying to keep their thoughts in the subjection. May not be living in this way. You see, and that's what that all boils down to. Now, over in 1 John chapter 4, verse 1, this is what we have to do. See, these spirits, the spirits that y'all, see me taking pictures of and stuff like that, just floating around in the air, all up in the clouds. Some of them could be angels, and some of them could be evil spirits of Nephilims from days gone by. I have a lot of pictures, and the way they look, sometimes you can't tell the difference. But here it says in verse 1, Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits wherewith they are of Yahweh, because many false prophets are gone out into the world. Hereby know ye the spirit of Yahweh. Every spirit that confesseth that Yahweh Shai Mashiach is come in the flesh is of Yahweh. And every spirit that confesseth not that Yahweh Shai Mashiach is come in the flesh is not of Yahweh. Okay? And this is that spirit of Antichrist. That's the spirit of Antichrist, not the Antichrist himself. Okay? And wherefore ye have heard that it should come, and even now already is it in the world. Ye are of Yahweh, little children, and have overcome them, because greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. Okay? That's what this all boils down to. So you want to make sure that you test the spirits. Where these ones are whispering in your ear, because see, the Most High, he does that. He sends angels to whisper in your ears while you're even in your sleep. You know what I mean? And we're going to get to that. Verse 5, They are of the world, therefore speak they of the world, and the world hear them. This is how you can discern the difference in these spirits, the people who believe in this world right here. Verse 6, We are of Yahweh. He that knoweth Yahweh heareth us. He that is not of Yahweh heareth not us. Hereby know we the spirit of truth and the spirit of error. Beloved, let us love one another, for love is of Yahweh, and every one that loveth is born of Yahweh, and knoweth Yahweh. Verse 8, He that loveth not knoweth not Yahweh, for Yahweh is love. And he is love, but he is also discipline. Okay, a lot of people being, God is love, God is love. He is. We just read that. But that don't mean you don't get the discipline. All right, the discipline come with that, the chastisement. Yeah, and let's go over here in Job chapter 33, verse 14. For Yahweh speaketh once, yea twice, yet man perceiveth it not. In a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon men, slumberings upon the bed. Then he openeth the ears of men and sealeth their instruction. Okay? Voices. Okay? I've heard them. I heard one probably about a couple weeks ago. I was in the bed and I was in and out of sleep. Okay, and I heard some word just as clear. Hello, James. Just like that. Clear as I just said that. He said it. Hello, James. Just like that. I did not open my eyes. I did not answer. I didn't respond. Not one bit. Because I wanted to see, was he going to keep talking? You see, but he never did. He just said that, and that was that. Verse 17, that he may withdraw man from his purpose and hide pride from man. He keepeth back his soul from the pit. He's saving you, by you doing right in life so you don't go to the pit. The pit is hell, hellfire to continue, and his life from perishing by the sword. Okay? He is chastening also with pain upon his bed, and the multitude of his bones with strong pain, so that his life abhorreth bread, and his soul dainty meat. Right? So this is what that all boils down to. The Most High want to save us. If this is what happens if you refuse what He's telling you, and trying to guide you. Your soul is going to go down into the pit, and all those other bad things are going to come upon you, surely as you live. You see, a lot of folks don't want to accept that, but that's just what it is. Okay. Now, Philippians chapter 4, verse 8. Here are the things right here that we must concentrate on. And it reads, finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report, if there be any virtue, and if there be any praise, think on these things. This is the thoughts that you should have right here. And a lot of times, we were basically ripped away from the way we are to walk and the way we are to think, because we got caught up in the curses, being disobedient, and then cast out, of our land and what have you, and basically fell into the devil's hands. And he taught us how to think. This is not the way to think. The way he taught us to think is to perish, basically to die. Okay? This right here that I speak to you is the word of the Most High, which is life, bread, water, and what have you. And it is about living. So this is what we should concentrate on. Now, Philippians chapter 4, verse 5, let your moderation be known unto all men. The Lord is at hand. Be careful for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving. Let your requests be made known unto Yahweh. And the peace of Yahweh, which passeth all understanding, shall keep your hearts and minds through Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. We're reading this again. Finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report, if there be any virtue, and if there be any praise, think on these things. Those things which you have both learned and received and heard and see in me, do, and the God of peace shall be with you. But I rejoice in the Lord greatly that now at the last your care of me have flourished again, wherein ye were also careful, but ye lacked opportunity. Not that I speak in respect of want, for I have learned in whatsoever state I am therewith to be content. Okay? This is what it is. We have to make sure that we stay and keep our minds on what I just read right here, and that way you can be content. But if you live by means and by ways of the world, you are not going to be content. I guarantee you that. You're going to have many, many tribulations, okay? And they're going to be brought on by yourself, brought on of yourself. And you won't have anybody to blame for it when it's all said and done, okay? Well, all praise to the Father, Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai. I hope I said something to stimulate your spiritual growth, and I hope you found this lesson edifying. In Yahweh Shai name. People, please remember to live your life as though we are being watched. Simply because we are. This is James, and I'm out. Peace.